MashaAllah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-aliyyil azim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ibadihi allazina istafa. Amma ba'du, farabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli wa qul rabbi adkhilni mudkhala sidqin wa akhrijni mukhraja sidqin waj'al li min ladunka sultanan nasira. Bismillah wa billah wa tawakkaltu ala Allah. In the name of Allah, the most caring, compassionate and constant, merciful. We recite Ayat number 174 from chapter Al-Baqarah, second Surah of the Quran, second Surah or chapter of the Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Innal lazina yaktumuna ma anzalallahu minal kitab wa yashtaruna bihi samanan qalila ulaika ma ya'kuluna fi butunihim illa an-nar wa la yukallimuhumullahu yawmal qiyamati wa la yuzakkihim wa lahum azabun alim. Sadaqallahul azim. This verse, this ayah, of course ayah is a better word for the phrases that Allah have separated all of them from each other, and maybe we translate it in the word verse, but verse may not carry all the meaning that ayah has. Ayah has a deeper meaning, and we have to be conscious about that and see the words which are dedicated by Allah to the words of Him, to the statement that He gives, or to the narrative that He gives us. That is better to translate, to carry the meaning which Allah has meant by that. So that would be a complete word which Allah has said, and have given that title to the word, to the statement that Allah has given. But again, for the purpose of making things easier, we sometimes need to translate it and say something that is understandable for everyone. So we say here in this verse, which is related to the verses before, as Allah had said in the verse before, 173, Allah had talked about the things which Allah had made haram for us. Of course, I should say that we were to discuss in this session verse number 173 and not 174, as I made that mistake. So we recite verse number 173 again. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Verse second chapter of the Holy Book of Quran, Al-Baqarah, and verse number 173. We recite it and then we will try to make the explanation process. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما حرم عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل به لغير الله فمن اضطر غير باغ ولا عاد فلا إثم عليه إن الله غفور رحيم. This verse is related to the verses before, and especially the last one, which Allah had talked to mu'mineen, and especially talk to them and honor them and address them with the Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kulu min at-tayyibat, eat min tayyibat ma razaqnakum, from that we have provided you from that which we have provided you, and that is pure and not bad and not having any contamination or which is not good for your health or for your all you need. It means that the nourishment and or for the purpose of taste, if you eat only those things which are pure. Continuing that, maybe so many things comes to in mind that in this case we don't know what is haram and what is halal, and how can we determine that what we should avoid and what we should go to eat. So Allah has put something, He has given some of the limits of this what we can eat and what we should avoid. In this verse which we have recited today, innama, here Allah started with the word innama. Innama is used when you want to limit something. You want to say that is only, means you want to say that that is not so much, that is not so many, and only a few things, or a very small amount of the thing, or small number of things are forbidden and prohibited. So Allah has put innama, means that you be sure the haram things are very, very small in number. Innama harrama alaykumul maytata. The first thing that Allah has forbidden upon you, and you have to avoid it, and that is not min at-tayyibat, and also it is not haram, it is not halal, as Allah has put the condition of being halal in the verses before. So innama harrama alaykumul maytata. Mayta means something that has not been slaughtered according to the framework of Sharia, and that is just died by itself, or it is called carrion, means in the English word carrion is used for that. Something that is dead by itself or by some other accident. Allah is saying that something which is not purposely slaughtered and is formally made slaughtered by yourself, and it has died by itself or by some accident or whatever it happened to it, and before you reach to that, or before you could slaughter it by yourself, it is died, then that is mayta, and you are not to have that, you are not to eat from that. That is haram for you. And the other thing that Allah is saying that is haram, it is dam, and that means blood. Blood from even from that slaughtered one is also haram. It doesn't mean that if something is slaughtered, then you are allowed to eat or drink its blood or use it for your eating purpose or for as a food purpose. The third thing that is mentioning here, or mentioned here by Allah, is lahm al-khinzir. Lahm al-khinzir, the flesh of swine, or in other words, which is used now, pork, means the meat which is taken from swine, and that is also not allowed. And these three things are something that are, of course, most of these things are already forbidden in the human nature, and Allah is just emphasizing that and giving us special order or hukum that we should avoid that. Otherwise, commonly in the world, in the universe, all of the culture, most of the culture, of course, when some declaration is done or something is said for humanity, when it is compared to humanity and all the cases of humanity, then we should see most of the people how they consider that, and then we should see whether Allah has forbidden it or not, means that most of the things that Allah has forbidden and He has given some order to avoid that, those things are those which are already avoided by man, and man dislike them and distaste them. And these three things which here are considered or said are all of those things. إنما حرم عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير. And also the fourth thing, if somebody came and say, okay, we slaughter it and we bring the animal and then slaughter it and then we eat from the flesh of that, Allah is saying no, there is another condition, that is, it is not slaughtered on the name of other than Allah, as people were used to slaughter the animal on the name of other things which are creature of Allah. Means some did that on the name of some idols that they had, and Allah is saying, if you bring something and slaughter it and invoke it or hallow it for the name of other than Allah, then it is also become haram, and you are not allowed to use the flesh of that or use to eat it. وَمَا أُهِلَّ بِهِ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ, what is slaughtered. Of course, these words are to be more deeply dug, and meaning can be achieved better. But here, for the common people and those who want to understand Quran in its apparent and it's the first layer of the Quran, then it is enough that the meaning is clear, that the animal that is slaughtered in the name of other than Allah, لِغَيْرِ. So now we are here, and there are four forbidden and prohibited things from Allah to us. One was the carrion, the second was blood, third was flesh of swine, and the fourth which was slaughtered on the name other than Allah. So now the situation of man and human comes in a way that he sometimes is not able to avoid that. It becomes a necessity. Means he cannot run away, whether because of the hunger that he has, or because the need that he has to eat, or because he is forced to do that. Maybe some pressure, maybe some other forces are pressuring him, or he is under pressure, or he is under the strict observation of some people who want to see whether he is a Muslim or not, or he is in a critical dangerous condition about the environment. So what here he should do, whether he should avoid it, or so that he put himself in a danger, or go to that hazardous condition, or avoid it. So Allah is not giving something, an order that can be difficult for man. Allah is saying, يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah does not want any time that some difficulty be on man, or some hard condition be put upon man. Allah always wants to give ease, and He wants to make things possible and easy. So here Allah gives an exception, so that He says, إِلَّا فَمَنِ اسْتُرَّ. If somebody is in a necessity, or he is forced, he has to do that. He is to eat from these four forbidden items, or the condition, Allah is not explaining what this necessity is, how he has become in this hard condition of being forced to do that. So Allah is keeping that open. So it means that that thing should be considered by the urf, by the common sense, by the common people, by the situation, and they may differ from one to another. So Allah is not determining that what the situation of that necessity is and what necessity is. It is not a special one. Any necessity that brings somebody to give in to that situation, and he is to do that. Other than that, his life or his property or his wealth or his health or his maybe so many conditions be in danger. So Allah is not putting somebody in danger, and he is allowing them to use from these four forbidden items which are forbidden for common Muslim. Faman isturra, if somebody is in istirar, somebody is in a necessity, he is forced to do, he is to do, he cannot avoid that, inevitable is that thing. But he puts two conditions there, غَيْرَ بَاغٍ وَلَا عَادٍ. There should be two conditions there, that he consider them and be conscious of them, and then he can use them. Number one is غَيْرَ بَاغٍ, he shouldn't be bagh. Bagh can give two meaning. Bagh, actual meaning of it is that crossing some boundaries, going beyond that, or transgressing that. So Allah want to say that not to go beyond your necessity. Number one, this meaning can be, if you need to use it for one time, so use it only for one time. If your necessity can be removed by using, for example, very short time, for 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, for example, I say. So you do that and then stop it. غَيْرَ بَاغٍ, do not transgress that. And if there is another meaning too for this, and that is Bagha means bagh or bagha or ibtigha. It is used for wanting something, craving something, something that you want it, that you desire it, you like it, you want to go after that, and you want to achieve that and receive that. So that is also bagha. That meaning can be also taken from this word. So it means that maybe you from inside also you want it. Your heart is also wanting, though you are now in a condition to use it, and you are forced to use it, or you are forced, or you are in a necessity from the environment, but also from inside you are also liking that, and you made some, for example, thank you for the situations that this situation became such that it happened that you are to use that. So because a man can create situations so that he is then obliged to do that, and he is to use from that. So Allah is putting that condition so that nobody can cross that. That is from the heart. And also the other word also is used, wala adin, and also somebody should not cross the limit, should not cross the limit, or should not return to that. Adin also can give two meaning. Adin from adu, it means also that if some limits are there and you can avoid that, and you can just be in the special limit, do not cross that and do not return to that. Ada also used for the returning of returning to a point. So again, doing it again, do not do again. It means that if you were, for example, for a while you were in a situation that you could not avoid it and you were to do that, now when you are not in that hard condition, or you are not forced to do that, so do not return to that. You do not make it as a habit, means something that you say, okay, we have did it before, so it doesn't make any this is not a big deal, for example. That is not the case. Allah is putting the other condition, and Allah is saying that those who are not returning to that, or those who are not going beyond what it is allowed to them. If somebody is in this condition, so Allah is saying that is exception, and there is no sin upon them, and they are not asked about that. Inna Allah Ghafurur Rahim, and be sure Allah will, if somebody takes these cures and he have in mind, and he is conscious, and he is always attentive to such condition, and he is always trying not to be ba or not to be odd, then he should be sure that Allah will make all those situations good, and he will bring the things in a way that he will not be forced to continue that, and Allah will remove that necessity from him. And Ghafur means somebody who is covering what it is lost there, or what it is not there, and what it is needed there. Means Allah covers all those needs and wants of somebody. So here's Allah saying that Inna Allah Ghafurur Rahim. If somebody is keeping himself in limit, then Allah will cover them, and Allah will protect them, and Allah will, inshallah, in the near future will help them to become out of this hard condition of necessity or istirar. May Allah keep us in His guidance and His guardianship. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.